Hello and welcome to This Month in Hamilton, our December 2022 edition. Want to start out by thanking WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us each and every month to talk to you about what's going on this month in Hamilton. Want to also thank our sponsors, Angelo Onifree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, radiology affiliates, imaging, and Saul Funeral Homes. Without our sponsors, again, we wouldn't have the opportunity to talk to you each and every month about what's going on this month in Hamilton. Our guest that we'll have on a little bit later in the show is a staff sergeant from the United States Marine Corps, specifically here to talk about their program, Toys for Tots. It's one I know we're all very much aware of. It's an outstanding nonprofit, and the nonprofit itself is celebrating a big milestone, their 75th anniversary. So we'll have somebody on in just a little bit to talk about their involvement in the United States Marine Corps, their involvement with Toys for Tots, and a little bit more about Toys for Tots. We all see the boxes at the municipal buildings, at private businesses throughout town, throughout the state, throughout the country, right? But a little bit about what goes into making sure the toys that we all put in those boxes, right? What has to go into getting the boxes to those places and then getting the toys into the hands of our young children throughout the area who otherwise maybe wouldn't have gotten a toy during this holiday season. So again, a great organization. We'll have somebody on later in the show to talk to you a little bit about that. About what's going on this month in Hamilton. So hope many of you were able to join us at Winter Wonderland over at Cooser Park earlier this month. Unfortunately, the Saturday night edition of that was canceled due to the rain. I went there about 10 a.m. To the park about 10 a.m. that morning, and the park was pretty well muddy and it would not have been an enjoyable experience, and we wound up having, again, still rain well into the evening. So we had to cancel that second night. But you can still drive through the park and see it lit up. We've had to move a lot of the decorations to different parts of town, so you'll see them now outside many of the municipal buildings throughout town, including Town Hall over on Greenwood Avenue as well. But for those who were able to make it on that Friday night, Santa came to visit, and we had a nice tree lighting, as we always do, and a kudos and special thanks to Kathy Fitzgerald and our Recreation Department staff, Chuck Thomas and our Public Works staff for putting on a fantastic event again this year. I had many people who came up to me raving about the lights, and specifically this year with Frozen. Their kids just ate it up. Especially inside the mansion as well. Obviously, with COVID for the past several years, we've had the mansion closed. So this is the first Winter Wonderland since 2019 where we've had the mansion open, and a lot of people really enjoying getting back in there, seeing it decorated with a little Frozen twist this year. So a lot of good stuff that went on with Winter Wonderland. Many of you will see Santa coming around your neighborhoods over the next week or so. Again, I'm tape recording this on Tuesday, December 13th, and want to thank our fire union for what they're about to embark on in a few days, making sure Santa gets a fire escort through different neighborhoods in town. And again, just putting his eyes on the neighborhood, making sure the boys and girls of Hamilton are on the nice list. Hopefully none are on the naughty list this year, but that they're on the nice list. And obviously still some time for the little ones in Hamilton to make sure they're on the nice list this year. So expect hopefully to see Santa. Obviously, hopefully there's no emergencies that any of the firefighters would have to respond to. But the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, Santa will be making his way around town with an escort from our fire department and the FMBA, our fire union guys, who do a great job with that. With that, you also see, again, a number of projects continuing, construction projects continuing throughout town. Aqua right now is stepping up their efforts to test different areas of town to see about lead line replacement and whether certain homes need lead line replacement. Trenton Waterworks keeps up their lead line replacement program. PSE&G doing a number of infrastructure projects around town, especially around Whitehorse and South Olden Avenue. So a number of infrastructure upgrades going on around town. The ground isn't frozen yet, so I know they're all trying to get this work in before we get to a real cold spell, which would make it very difficult for them to be able to do those projects. In terms of other construction projects, you'll see Project Freedom across from the police station. Again, this is a 70-unit project as part of our affordable housing obligation, but really geared towards people with some type of developmental disability to give them an opportunity to have independent living or semi-independent living experience. And that project should hopefully be complete, if not the first quarter of 2023, definitely the first half of 2023. And you'll see all those buildings up right now, and they're pretty much on interior work right now as well. So again, a lot of construction going on. The road construction is pretty much done for the year. And then our public works team doing what they need to do. I know we still get calls regarding leaf pickup, and they'll start doing second rounds in neighborhoods on leaf pickup. For those of you who still have leaves to be picked up, again, you can rake them to the curb, or the best way to do it is bag them in the paper bags. We can't take them bagged in the plastic bags because of the way the mulch system works and the composting system works. Again, our ecological facility composts all the leaves that we receive throughout the course of the season. And so the paper bags are key because they can also obviously be composted. The plastic bags cannot be. So our public works teams have to literally rip open the plastic bag at the curb and dump the leaves in, versus a paper bag can just be thrown in. And having it paper bagged also prevents the leaves from flying around your yard even more, and forcing you to re-rake some of the yards as well. Knock wood, as of December 13th, there's no big snowstorms or anything like that on the horizon through about the Christmas time, based on the advanced forecast system that we have. There are some potentials, obviously, and so our road department is prepped on salt and brine and all those kinds of things. You'll start seeing the plows literally connected to some pieces of public works trucks as a just-in-case measure, but hopefully little to no snow during this season, and they'll be able to get by and continue some of the other work they have to do without moving over to snow preparation. Because right after the holidays, they start with Christmas tree pickup and the like, and that all comes out of our roads department. So a very busy time for them. Again, you think about what they contributed towards Winter Wonderland, towards leaf pickup, tree pickup, and again, hopefully no snow pickup. Speaking of the composting at our ecological facility and about our ecological facility, I hope you all have the time to read one of the front page articles about our ecological facility. Again, through under the direction of Chuck Thomas, our Director of Public Works, Jimmy Wyro, our recycling coordinator, and many others. Our ecological facility has been in town and been operating for decades, and again is a real asset to our town and to our town's commitment towards recycling. If we didn't have the ecological facility, so much of what goes into there, when you do brush pickup, that goes there. Leaf pickup, that goes there. There's separate bins for cardboard recycling, for all other types of recycling. That's all stuff that stays out of the trash. Good for us, because then it doesn't count towards our tonnage as it gets dumped in a landfill, which saves us money. But more so than that even, again, we turn the brush that gets grinded and turned into mulch. The leaves get composted. And so we use that throughout our many parks too, as we need mulch, as we need compost, etc. And we know many of you go and pick it up for your own home use as well. So as a long-time commitment, well before me even, to making Hamilton green, we have the ecological facility, and that helps. Hamilton again was just honored with a bronze level certification for sustainable Jersey. This is our second award. It's a 3-year award, so it means we're well into it, and now we're good through 2025 on our bronze certification of sustainable Jersey. But again, showing our town's commitment to being environmentally friendly, to contributing towards the environment. And you'll start seeing different projects again pop up through town. We've had a new renewed commitment to rain gardens. You'll see some of them. We're starting to push for some meadows and pollinator gardens as well. Our environmental commission, our shade tree commission, our green team initiative, they all do a phenomenal job of taking these projects on. And again, most of these people are volunteers committing their time to making these things happen throughout our community. And just recently we awarded Geo Greens, which is a hydroponic green farm in Hamilton, as well as Boy Scout Troop 91 for their commitment to green initiatives here in Hamilton. Geo Greens making sure there's always fresh vegetables to eat for our residents and local area restaurants. And then Troop 91, for decades, they've been going into Veterans Park each and every year and doing a full day cleanup event, as well as doing other things like mulching, etc. Again, just contributing to the beautification of our environment, the beautification of our parks. Troop 91's been doing that for decades, and so we wanted to recognize them this year with an environmental award for all their work here in Hamilton. So a lot of good things going on in Hamilton. Going into next year, Hamilton will again continue our partnership with Faith Baptist Church for our Dr. Martin Luther King awards reception, where we give out scholarships to local area high schools, as well as recognize community servants for their work towards Dr. King's vision. We haven't had the event in a little bit, again because of COVID, so we're really looking forward to getting it back. It's been 2020 was the last one we had, so again 3 years or so it's been since we'll have it. So you'll see that again coming up in January 2023, and hope you'll be able to attend and look for more information about that. So we're going to take a short break. Again, when we come back, we're going to be talking a lot about Toys for Tots, a phenomenal organization, an organization celebrating their 75th anniversary, and hope you enjoy it as much as I will, just to learn a little bit more about them, and again, what happens for all the preparation going into it, all the preparation and distribution of the toys, and really seeing kind of what goes on behind the scenes. So we're going to take a short break, and when we be back, we'll be back with Toys for Tots.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
This is Angelo Weiner for your Mercer County prosecutor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of our Mercer County student athletes the best of luck, and also urge parents to stay involved in your children's school activities. Extracurricular events are a great way to keep your sons and daughters focused, and it does not have to be athletics. They can be involved with the drama club, the school band, even the debate team. An involved student today has a brighter future tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and I hope you enjoyed today's game.
Capital Health presents Capital Healthy Living for seniors who want to stay independent. As a member of Capital Healthy Living, you get transportation to all Capital Health doctor visits and other activities. You get easy access to over 400 primary care doctors and specialists. You also get assistance scheduling your appointments with Capital Health doctors, plus life coaching and direct answers to any and all medical questions. This is usually a $50 per month fee for all these services. You can cancel at any time, but sign up now and get the first 2 months free. For more information, visit capitalhealth.org. That's capitalhealth.org. Capital Health, minds advancing minds.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. I want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Angela Wanafree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saul Funeral Home. So, Sergeant, welcome.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing pretty good, sir.
Good, good. Well, thank you for joining us today. I know I've built up a lot about Toys for Tots, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But before we do, just want you to introduce yourself to the listeners we have in Hamilton.
Yes, sir. Just want to start off saying thank you for allowing us on your show, your podcast. But my name is SSgt Ricky Holder in the United States Marines active duty, currently going on 14 years. Right now, I am the coordinator for Marine Corps Toys for Tots, Mercer County, and this is my second year doing it, sir.
So, Sergeant, how'd you get started going into the Marine Corps? What made you want to join the Marines?
For me personally, didn't really have too much going on. And I seen like an opportunity, and I pretty much took it, and ever since, just didn't really look back, just kept moving forward, sir. If
you're in at 14, you're in for a full 20 at this point, at least plus, right?
Absolutely, sir. As long as we get to 20, we should be all right.
Good. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from upstate New York, a town called Elmira, New York.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So who's your favorite football team?
I'm a Commanders fan, sir.
Commanders?
Yeah, I had to do it.
See, here I'm a Bills fan, right?
Yeah, Bills Mafia.
And I hear somebody from upstate New York. I'm thinking, all right, I finally got a fellow Bills fan, and not entirely.
Yeah. I do support them, though, but I have to do a Commander, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We're not doing too hot, but we'll be all right.
All right. So you joined the Marine Corps 14 years ago. Take us through some of the assignments or duty locations you've kind of been through or been in.
Yes, sir. So I started in March of 2009, went through March 2009, started the boot camp. First duty station was Hawaii. Transferred from there to Virginia, and then was doing security forces in Virginia. And then from Virginia, went to California, did 7th Marines. And then here now at Fort Dix, New Jersey, with 3rd Battalion, 14th Marines Golf Battery.
Okay. So how long have you been here at Fort Dix then?
March would be 3 years, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
wow.
Sir.
So I'm fairly close to home again, right?
Absolutely.
Jersey, upstate New York. You still have family in upstate New York?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So it probably makes it a little easier when you want to see them, right?
It is nice. It's definitely nice being this close to home, which not always have that opportunity. So for the first time, it is nice.
When you're in Hawaii, right, and you're 4 or 5 time zones different, and it's a whole new world, right?
But it's nice when you wake up and football's already on.
That is a nice thing to have, right? When it's 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and it's on and ready to go.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's awesome. So take me through a little bit. You come to Fort Dix, right? Were you involved with Toys for Tots at other locations before that? Did your involvement start once you got to Fort Dix?
So I honestly had no affiliation with Toys for Tots prior to coming here.
Okay.
Got here and right before the pandemic, and pretty much was assigned as the coordinator. Obviously, we know the pandemic threw everybody off, but we still did Toys for Tots that year in 2020. It was a little difficult, obviously, through the distancing ourselves and everything, but we still managed to have a successful year during COVID. I wasn't the coordinator last year. That was Staff Sergeant Matthew Mueller.
Mm-hmm.
His year was successful as well, and now this is my second year for Toys for Tots.
Very nice. So in terms of geographic areas that you cover, do you have a certain geographic area that you specifically cover?
Yes. So out of Fort Dix, we specifically cover Mercer County.
Okay.
and that's just pretty much our region. Each county should have a campaign,
Okay.
and essentially they just have to go on the website. I can give it to you later on, sir.
Do you know it offhand? You can
Absolutely.
give. Yeah.
So anyone listening, you could just go on to Marine Toys for Tots. If you Google Toys for Tots, there'll be a drop-down menu. It'll say find your local campaign. And once you click on that, you'll click on your city. You'll click on your state, and then from there you'll find your county, and then that will take you to their page. It'll give you the coordinator's information. If it's a civilian, a veteran, or an active duty service member, they'll have all his information on there and how to contact him or how to request for toys, even be a site to drop off boxes to even collect toys.
So this year you get appointed to run the Mercer County, I guess, chapter, for lack of a better word, right?
Yes, sir.
When does that appointment happen during the course of the year? It's not like it just happened 2 days ago, you know?
So pretty much I got appointed during the summer, and from there the campaign actually starts on October 1st. So essentially what we do is we'll send out emails letting people know, hey, the Toys for Tots campaign's getting ready to start off in 30 days, kind of get them aware that it's going to kick off. And then during October, we essentially reach out to organizations, anyone that want to be a drop site location. Essentially, that'd be like their central hub for employees, or if they want outside personnel to come in to drop off toys, they can. And we'll drop off boxes at multiple locations. This year, we actually have 125 boxes out we have 588 boxes at 125 organizations.
Just in Mercer County?
This is all Mercer County, yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes. So during the month of October, we'll drop off boxes, and then to mid to late November, December, we're picking up all those boxes.
They keep saying we a lot, right? Obviously, this isn't just you running around the county delivering 500 some boxes and
Yes,
picking
sir.
up whoever knows how many toys. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
what does it take? What's your team? Who's helping you in all this?
So right now, for us at Fort Dix, we're an I&I staff of 13. We do have the reservists come in every now and then to assist us, but for the most part, it's just 13 of us coordinating this entire Mercer County Toys for Tots program.
Right, which you need a whole team, right? If you're dropping off 500 some boxes, 125
Absolutely.
locations, right? Now, are you left with a list of places from like last year as you start your outreach in October?
Yes, so that's what helps out is each year you kind of you essentially save some of the history, and any new people or new organizations that you acquire, you could just add them to the list, and you essentially just send out a list of an email saying, hey, the Toys for Tots program is going to kick off, or hey, would you be still willing to contribute or partake in Toys for Tots this year?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we get it out there, sir.
And then you got to go and literally drive to all these places and drop off these huge boxes, right?
Yes, sir. So we'll essentially, run a U-Haul or a Penske truck or any type of, big box vehicle. We'll go to those locations, drop off the boxes, and then on the back end, we'll have to go and pick up the boxes as well.
And then roughly, right, is there an estimate or a goal or an actual number of how many toys you'll get, say, in past seasons or in this season?
So this season, our goal was actually to reach 21,000.
And this is just Mercer County?
This is just Mercer County, sir.
Wow.
Our goal is to reach 21,000 toys. Right now, off the top of my head, we have, I believe, 133 organizations that are requesting for toys and about 331 single families that are requesting for toys.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So obviously, not just those 330 families get 20,000 toys, right?
Yes.
That'd be a fantastic Christmas for those kids. Don't get me wrong, right? But
Yes, sir.
that would certainly be more probably toys than anybody's house could even
100%,
fit,
sir.
right? So what happens? How do those 20,000 toys then find their way into a child's hands?
So when an individual, like an organization or a family requests for toys, they'll go on the Toys for Tots website.
The same one, Marine Toys for Tots?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, like once they find their local campaign, like for instance, if you're looking for Mercer County, you go on toysfortots.org. You find your local campaign, click on New Jersey, and then click on Mercer County. And then once you get there, if you're trying to be an organization or a family, you'll click on the drop link and it'll essentially fill out the information. And the information will at least it'd be your organization, your 501(c)(3) Charlie form, and then how many children need toys. We go from 0 to 3 all the way up to 17 years old. And they'll put the number of quantity of toys for the organization and for the single family homes. If we're not able to meet those numbers, we'll have to adjust just to make sure everyone gets the toys. So if an organization wants 50 toys for a 17-year-old, we'll probably have to cut those numbers down just so we can get other toys to other families and organizations as well.
So can an individual go out and sign, say, their household up or a family member's household up?
Yes.
Okay. And then an organization can go in as well and sign up their organization and say, I've got 5 families, say it's a church or something like that, right? They can sign up families on their own too.
Absolutely. So we have nonprofit organizations. So we have churches, we have schools. I typically focus on the Title I schools.
Okay.
And they'll just do the same process. They'll go on the website, put the organizations and the quantity of toys that they want to request. And if we're able to meet those numbers, we'll fulfill those orders.
So when you're starting your outreach, you're not only outreaching to organizations to sponsor collection points, you're also reaching out to organizations to get information on families or kids to receive them as well.
Yes, sir.
So it's a lot of outreach first.
It's a lot of emails, a lot of homework and research, and just essentially, like you said, sir, like reaching out to the community, see who actually really needs those toys. And, at the end of the day, we're trying to, give everyone, any children or any child or family that needs a toy, a new unwrapped toy on Christmas.
So obviously, you're not sending out 125 emails yourself, right? You talked about this team you have behind you. Do the guys who report to you, right, are they bought in on it?
So it's essentially since we're still an active duty staff, we still have to do our daily jobs as well. So sometimes it just falls on just a 1 or 2 individuals that does all this, but for the most part, when it comes to organizing, sorting, and filling orders, that's like a mass effort. But sometimes it is left to like a few people just to send out the email. So I know for us, it's we get a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails, and at times it's just 2 people answering 600 phone calls.
Wow.
Or, umpteen thousand emails. So it does get a little backed on to responses, but we do try to catch up and reply to everyone as much as we can.
And it's like you said, you still have your full-time job, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you're just trying to manage this whole thing for the entire county.
Yes, sir.
By yourself. So, Sergeant, we're going to take a short break here.
Yes, sir.
When we come back, I really want to talk about kind of I know we've talked about Mercer County specifically, and there's more to talk about, but Toys for Tots as kind of the national organization in its founding. So
yes, sir.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Toys for Tots.
Capital Health is ready to see you. Wondering if it's the right time to reschedule that doctor's appointment, lab or imaging test, or hospital procedure? Capital Health is ready to see you again. All of Capital Health's hospital and outpatient care locations are open and ready to accept appointments. When you're ready to get back to health, rest assured, Capital Health is ready for you.
This is Angelo Weiner, your Mercer County prosecutor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of our Mercer County student athletes the best of luck, and also urge parents to stay involved in your children's school activities. Extracurricular events are a great way to keep your sons and daughters focused, and it does not have to be athletics. They can be involved with the drama club, the school band, even the debate team. An involved student today has a brighter future tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and I hope you enjoyed today's game.
Radiology Affiliates Imaging has been part of the Hamilton community for over 50 years, with 2 convenient locations, RAI Chi Hamilton and RAI Lawrenceville. We offer expertise in all areas of imaging for all members of your family. Our board-certified specialty radiologists offer expertise in women's imaging, interventional radiology, musculoskeletal and diagnostic radiology, Whether you need an MRI, CAT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or X-ray, we offer the latest in imaging technology and interpretation. In the last 50 years, RAI has earned our place amongst the largest and most respected radiology groups in our area. For more information on all RAI has to offer, visit www.4rai.com.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. I want to again start by thanking our sponsors, Angela Winifrey in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saul Funeral Home. So for those, I don't know whether you can see or not on the video for those watching, but you've got a hoodie on, you've got a hat on, right? And they both talk about 75th anniversary for Toys for Tots. So talk to me a little bit about the history of how Toys for Tots got started.
Yes, sir. So a little bit background on Toys for Tots. It was founded in 1947 by a reservist major, Bill Hendricks, in Los Angeles, California. And essentially, ever since 1947, it's been, going on for 75 years. I believe in 1991, we now made it. So it's always been a nonprofit organization, but we're essentially been doing it ever since 1947, sir.
When you say we, you mean the Marine Corps?
Yes. So it's a 100% reservist program.
Okay.
But a lot of it is managed by the active duty members as well.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you think the major started at 1947, right, presumably coming out of World War II, right, he comes back, he sees kids without toys. I would assume that's kind of why he wanted to start it. You think in his wildest dreams he would ever envision it being a national program 75 years later?
I would hope so. I would hope so. But it's definitely phenomenal to think that at that current time, him and his wife that can come up with an idea of seeing children in the local area that don't have the toys or stuff like that, to come up with an organization such as the Marine Corps Toys for Tots, and then have it expound like throughout the whole United States. So I'm not sure if that was he ever thought it would get this big, but I'm sure he'd be super proud to see exactly where it's at right now.
Oh, I have no doubt, and I'm sure if he has family, right, that's still living there, absolutely thrilled to see what it's become, right?
Absolutely.
And you think sometimes they say, one person can change the world, right? And obviously it takes a team. You've got a team, right?
Yes,
the national organization obviously has a team. But starting with essentially a husband and wife, right? And now it's grown into this huge organization, putting smiles on kids' faces.
Absolutely.
And it makes you think one or two people really can change the world, right? With
100%.
the drive and motivation that they have. So
Absolutely, sir.
yeah. So in terms of you've got the chapter, right? Do you have any how much coordination do you have with the national organization?
So pretty much they give us all, like, anything we need. We just reach out to them when it comes to funding, information, banners, any type of public recognition. That we just reach out to them. And pretty much anything we need, they'll if they're able to fulfill it, they will.
Gotcha. Now, we talked earlier, right? 21,000 toys is
Yes,
kind
sir.
of the goal or the mark, right, for Mercer County. Obviously, I would presume you're not giving away 21,000 toys all in Mercer County. So what happens with some of those other toys?
So a lot of the times after the holiday season, we're left with a large amount of toys. So what my goal is this year is to reach out to like the hospitals, children's hospitals, cancer hospitals, and see if I could coordinate with somebody to fulfill those children with the leftover toys that we have. So my goal is to essentially but give a toy to, essentially give all 21,000 toys to a child, if not during the holiday, during January or sometime throughout the year, continuously until we get rid of all 21,000 toys.
So you think about like a child going through, there's the Children's Cancer Hospital up in New Brunswick, right?
Yes, sir.
Capital Health has a large pediatric unit, right? Those kids going through tough medical times, right? Again, that even if it's not the holiday season. That
Yes,
toy
sir.
can put a big smile on their face.
Absolutely. So my goal this year, and going into next year, is like I said, all 21,000 toys. Like even after Christmas, just to continue reaching out to those organizations, those hospitals, and giving the toy to some child, from 3 years old, 0 to 3, all the way to 17 years old, some type of toy, throughout their hardships and times.
Wow. So 21,000 toys. So how do you even collect and store 21,000 toys?
So storage is a big challenge for us. Our goal next year is to acquire a warehouse where we could, do our distribution there, also store the toys throughout the year. Right now, we store them on base with us, but for the long term or for the future, we'll like to, like I said, acquire a warehouse and keep it somewhere centrally located where everyone can kind of get to the distribution site without going way out of the way.
Or through all the security and stuff like that as well.
Yes, sir.
So you must get a good command support, right? If you're able to have a location on base, bringing trucks in, all that kind of stuff to be able to do this.
Yes. So essentially, it does take a lot of coordination. This year, we're actually doing. We linked up with the gentleman Fran, the Cure Arena.
Okay.
So that's where we're going to be doing this year's Toys for Tots distribution.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to kick off starting tomorrow and potentially end at Saturday. But for the most part, it's going to be tomorrow all the way to Friday. We'll do our distribution. Right now, we're actually in the process of taking the toys from Fort Nicks, New Jersey, to the arena.
Oh, wow.
And then getting everything ready for distribution come tomorrow.
So you're putting the Marines to work, lifting all those toys and having them walk here and there and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, sir. So right after this, we're going to head over there and keep it going. And so, tomorrow will be a lot smoother, and then, just make sure we can give everyone the toys that they requested.
I hope they get a little reprieve from like PT requirement or something this week, right?
Yes, sir.
All the walking and lifting they're doing. It's got to be funny seeing, maybe a 20-year-old fresh in the Marine Corps, right, having to sort this toy. Is this a toy for a 15-year-old girl, right, or a 12-year-old boy? Those kinds of things, right?
Yes, sir.
They probably don't have to do that too often.
No, but at a certain point, you try to get a little bit better at it. But it definitely takes time to, once we pick up all the toys, then we had to count the toys, and then we had to sort them in their age and gender group, and then we had to fill the orders. So we do take on volunteers on the website, the toysfortots.org. Once you get on your local campaign's website, if anyone would love to volunteer, you fill out the application, and we'll take volunteers. Anyone can volunteer. So you could also do that on the website as well, sir.
Now, as you move into distribution, is that generally in the evening, generally during the day, both? How's it work for people who want to volunteer, who want to give back, in terms of, what times you're looking to have people help?
So throughout the year, it would be like, for instance, if we're doing like a drop-offs for taking boxes to organizations, it would be throughout the day. The only time it may go into the evening would be like once we receive the toys, when we need to sort and organize and fill orders. Depending on the amount of staff members we have, if we're short, then it may roll over into the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we try to keep it throughout the day and the late afternoon time frame, sir.
Gotcha. It doesn't, with it getting dark at 4:30, it doesn't give you much time to get everything done while it's still day.
Pitch black dark.
Exactly. Far cry from Hawaii, But
Yes,
you
sir.
grew up in upstate New York,
Yes,
so you're
sir.
used to that, right?
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah. So now the holiday season comes. You've gotten through a lot of the toys, right? I assume the Cure Arena can't keep you there forever, but you still have other toys to kind of go through. Is that when you bring them back then to Fort Dix kind of thing until you're able to get through all of them?
Yes. So after we're done distributing the toys that we already placed the orders,
Mm-hmm.
we'll bring the remaining back to Fort Dix, and then essentially store them there. We still have more toys to pick up after the distribution. So essentially, like, handing out the toys will essentially end Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still going to be picking up toys throughout next week and the following weeks. And then, like I said, the goal is to hand out toys throughout remaining of their year this year and then ongoing to next year as well.
Now, the happiest moment is when you actually get to hand the child the toy, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you get to actually do that at either during the distribution or at the hospitals or anything like that?
So the
Don't tell me you go through all this and you don't even get the joy part of it, right, of handing a kid a toy.
So the distribution, it'll be for the organizations, it's be the representative. But for the families, they'll bring them and their child, and then we can give them the toy. For the future, if we are able to obtain a warehouse, an idea that the staff and I was coming up with is essentially making it where the family could come in and essentially pick a toy for their child instead of us picking a toy.
Sure.
Having a little bit more meaningful value from it. So that's some ideas that we started now and hoping to implement come next year.
Almost let the child go shopping, so to speak, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're picking, maybe they like, I've got a 2-year-old, right? Maybe they like Paw Patrol and they don't like Blue's Clues, right? But somebody doesn't know it. They see a 2-year-old kid and they're like, oh, they'll like Blue's Clues,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Because my 2-year-old nephew likes Blue's. And the kid would have liked Paw Patrol a lot better. So
Yes, so that's ways we're thinking for the future to kind of make it more meaningful for the child and the parent as well.
Sure, right? Because then that parent really gets to see their kid with the huge smile, right? That they got their Paw Patrol whatever.
Yes, sir.
When they're just the biggest Paw Patrol fan in the world kind of thing. I'm going through all this myself, right? Today's Paw Patrol. Next week might be back to Blue's Clues. And so you never know where it flows exactly. But,
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah. So does anybody get dressed up as Santa during these distributions, or you just?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay, okay. So Santa Claus comes around, huh?
Yes, we have a gentleman that's currently off air. He's my boss, but he's willing to do the Santa Claus role this year.
All right, all right. Well, I can't imagine the Marine's got too big of a belly, so you got to buy a pillow or something, right, to fit the Santa's costume or whatever.
Yes, sir. We definitely acquired one for him as well.
All right, all right. I know Santa's really busy, right? So he needs surrogates sometimes. So,
Absolutely.
Because he's double checking his list and all of that. So if there's any kids listening, don't worry. Santa will still come around Christmas morning and make sure all your toys are there. But he needs surrogates right now too, a little bit, right?
Absolutely, sir.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll finish up talking little toys for Tots, but and maybe I'll get to see a Santa costume in between. So we're going to take a short break and be back in just a moment.
Radiology Affiliates Imaging has been part of the Hamilton community for over 50 years, with 2 convenient locations, RAI Chi Hamilton and RAI Lawrenceville. We offer expertise in all areas of imaging for all members of your family. Our board-certified specialty radiologists offer expertise in women's imaging, interventional radiology, musculoskeletal and diagnostic radiology. Whether you need an MRI, CAT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or X-ray, we offer the latest in imaging technology and interpretation. In the last 50 years, RAI has earned our place amongst the largest and most respected radiology groups in our area. For more information on all RAI has to offer, visit www.4rai.com.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. I want to again start out by thanking WBCB 1490 AM as well as our sponsors, Angelo Onifrey in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saw Funeral Homes. So going back a little bit, we keep talking about the scale of all of this, right? 21,000 toys, Mercer County alone. I know we talked about the Mercer County community, right? But As you're going around, do you see that embrace from the Mercer County community?
Absolutely. We have a lot of support, especially from the Hamilton area, like Trenton area, Princeton. We get a lot of support from the community.
And then in terms of, we talked about the distribution, right, the sorting and all of that. Again, somebody who wants to get involved, is there a certain number of hours? Maybe somebody who can't get involved, who can't, isn't as mobile as they used to be, right? Are there other ways they can contribute towards helping besides just dropping off toys, right?
Oh, absolutely. So like essentially one of our biggest hardships we run into is like storage facilities, warehouses. Any contribution for like storage, warehouse, like essentially goes back to the community. It's not like we keep it, we don't keep it. It's just like our major issue is volunteers in storage. We're currently on Fort Dix, the base, so it's a little bit difficult to get people on base that want to volunteer. So I feel like if we're able to get a central location for storage, we'll be able to essentially get more volunteers that be more willing to help.
Gotcha. Because the volunteers, they got to show their ID. They got to pull off to the visitor's booth, right? Show
Yes,
their
sir.
ID, find out where they're going versus just plug it in Google Maps, so to speak, right? Then whoop, go right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have like a one-stop shop essentially.
And then in terms of if people need to give monetary donations, does that generally go up to like the corporate, and then it filters its way down in terms of, because you guys, as you said, you need the Penske trucks and
Oh yeah.
and all those kinds of things, right? The gas to fill it, etc.
So what we do next year, the Torch for Tots program is trying to get the Q codes to essentially just drop it into their account and then it'll come to us. But right now we do checks and then mail it off to them and then they'll put it in our account.
Okay.
So we're willing to take anything. We're willing to take anything as small as $10, $5, $1. At the end of the day, it's not going towards us. It's going to buying another toy, the Penske trucks, tape, trash bags, whatever we need in order to make the campaign a successful year.
Now I know, obviously, all the toys you say, please unwrapped. Do people still drop off wrap toys?
There's definitely a good amount of toys that are used and stuff like that. But for us, we're only allowed to hand out new unwrapped toys to the community.
Gotcha. So what do you do with the used toys that didn't get dropped off?
We essentially find new homes for those as well.
Gotcha. So nothing goes to waste.
Nothing goes to waste.
That's
Absolutely.
good.
We were able to use everything.
So have you enjoyed, I don't know whether, from my military time, you can get voluntold for certain activities, right? I'm sure you know that phrase.
Yes, sir.
Have you enjoyed your time heading up the program this year for Mercer County?
I have. It does get stressful, but at the end of the day, for me, it's one of those things where it's for the greater good. I may have to work a little bit harder or do a little bit more management skills, and then on top of doing my actual job. But I feel like the outcome is worth it. So regardless if I wanted to do it or not, I'm happy I'm in this position and I'm able to be on your podcast and coordinate with so many individuals in the community and able to make this year's campaign successful.
You probably meet people that you never would meet otherwise, right?
Absolutely. And for me, that's one of the I like networking, seeing new people, and being in this position kind of takes you outside your comfort zone and makes you able to learn things about yourself you haven't ever acquired.
You probably know your way around Mercer County roads better than I do.
There's
Even,
a lot of good food places out here.
There definitely are. There definitely are. If you like pizza, you're in a great location here in Mercer County. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure the guys and girls you work with understand that as well. They get to see a lot of those food places, and I'm hungry at lunchtime. I might as well just stop off real quick and grab something to eat.
Yes,
sir. Now, next year, do you still run it? Do you hand it off to somebody else? How does that work?
So this will actually be my last year.
Okay.
I'll be PCSing.
Do you know where?
So I'll be going next duty station. Not sure exactly what location, but I'll be going recruiting.
Okay.
So hopefully
You seem like a recruiter. You're talking about that networking,
Yes, sir.
interacting with people. You're the perfect recruiter.
I
That way.
appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's the next chapter is going to recruiting. But as of now, we do have a candidate in line for next year's Toys for Tots.
Oh, good.
So he'll have a good changeover, and then hopefully to keep this going, moving forward, and doing better than what we did this year.
So for those of you who heard the term PCS and may not know what that means, right? It essentially means a permanent change of station, right? He's leaving Fort Dix and going to wherever, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you've got your wish list and all those kinds of things. So wish you all the best. But it sounds like and seems like you're going to do great as a recruiter for the Marine Corps.
Appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's what it's about, right? Going into the high schools, going into different community organizations and talking about people who can contribute back to their greater community, United States
Yes, sir.
community, right?
Absolutely.
And all the opportunities it can afford our young men and women across the country to sign up, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
So I know we talked a little bit. I did Air Force JAG for a few years, but there was two guys a year ahead of me in law school who did Marine Corps JAG, and that's a whole different beast. I give those guys a lot of credit. At lunchtime, I'd be going to lunch, and I'd see them running around the campus. So they were very committed to their commitment to serve. So,
Yes, sir.
and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you and everybody you're partnering with from the Marine Corps and your commitment
Thank you, sir.
to serve our country and now serve our greater Mercer County community
Absolutely.
as part of that overall commitment to service. So
Yes, sir.
really appreciate that and all you do serving our country and the men and women who report to you.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you for your service as well.
Thank you. So I won't put you on the spot, right? But where's your greatest geographic location been that you've been? And remember, you're in New Jersey right now. You know, just saying.
I would have to say it would be New Jersey. I cannot think of a greater place, especially Mercer County.
There you go.
Be.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yes.
So we talked a little bit upstate New York. Has your family been able to come see you? Do they ping you for what the hot new toys are that you're seeing? I don't know if you have kids or nieces and nephews, all those kinds of things, right? But you get a marketing probably exposure to toys that most of us never experience. So.
Yeah, I definitely. So I don't have any children, but I definitely see a lot of toys that I'm not aware of or not accustomed to. So it definitely helps me be more aware of the nieces and nephews' wish list.
Oh yeah, they I'm sure call you up or email you or text you, whatever I don't know their ages, right? But
Yes, sir.
they know you've got an in with the big man, Santa, and all the toys he gets exposure to, right?
Yes, sir.
So a lot of good things that way as well.
Absolutely.
So what's your advice to the person who's running it next year?
I think my advice would just be continuing to reach out to the community, keeping those relations and building from them and building on them. And literally it's just ask. If you need help, ask. Don't not ask for help. If you need help, ask for it. If you need advice, take it. Be humble. And at the end of the day, like it's a community-driven organization. It's pretty much, if the community could help us, we at the end of the day we give it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'd be my advice: is just be humble, taking what you got, network, communicate, and if you need help, ask for it.
And I'm sure there's not many people who say no when you ask for help, right?
It's crazy the amount of yeses you get
Mm-hmm.
when you ask for help.
Again, that goes into 75 years. There's not many people, or can't be many people who don't know about Toys for Tots as an organization, right? And
Yes, sir.
It's built up that reputation over 75
Absolutely.
years, right? And it's built it up through those who have served before you, right?
Mhm.
The organization. And I think when we were talking before, we were saying it's one of a few, if not the only nonprofit that the DoD
Yes, sir.
is signed on to support, right?
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Yes, sir.
And I remember, my time in the Air Force, right? We were always getting requests to help this or that, and the DoD was very hesitant because once you help one, then when the next one comes, it's, well, how come not me, right? How come this person before me? But for the DoD to take that step, I think sends a strong signal as well of their overall support
Absolutely.
for the Marine Corps as well, or for Toys for Tots.
Yes, sir.
Now, do the guys at Dick's from the Army, from the Air Force, do they help you out too, or you kind of just push them to the side a little bit?
So we try to reach out to them as much as possible. We haven't got any help from the Air Force yet, sir. So just wanna.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I wasn't stationed there, but I'll see what I can do.
It's all about networking, sir.
Yeah.
But they do help out. We have we put flyers out at the PX and hand it out to like the commissary, and anyone that's willing to help, they'll reach out to us, and then we'll give them essentially if they want to volunteer or help sort, organize, we'll take on as much help and volunteers as we can get.
So the boxes you have on base, say at the commissary or things like that, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that part of the Mercer County? Does that go to like Burlington, Ocean? Does it get split up? How does that all work?
So since it's on like the base, I will contribute to Mercer County.
Oh, wow.
Burlington, they have their own campaign.
Okay.
So that'll essentially like anything that they have in their area will go to Burlington and et cetera, sir.
All right. So you see the Air Force is contributing. I'm sure there's somebody dropping off from an Air Force, a spouse, an active duty member, right?
Yes, sir.
That's finding its way into the Mercer County chapter as well. So
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
See, I was able to draw that connection out, It might be a little speculative, but I'm sure it's happening.
It's definitely happening, sir.
Yeah. Well, again, as we conclude this hour, right, for those who want to contribute some way, what's the email? What's the website? Walk them through one more time how they can get involved.
Absolutely. So for the website, you'll go on Google, type in toysfortots.org. You'll see a tab that says Find Your Local Campaign. Once you get there, it'll ask you what state you live in. For ours, it'll be New Jersey. And then you'll go to the county. Ours will be Mercer County. If you need to get in contact with us, the email is west.trenton.nj@toysfortots.org. And that'll be my direct email for the organization. Like I said, it's a lot to filter through, but if anyone wanted to get in contact with us, that's how they would reach us.
Awesome. And for those, again, in Hamilton, right, we've got a lot of partnering organizations. I don't know whether they've picked up all the boxes yet, but if not, we've got boxes at the municipal building. We've got boxes at our police headquarters. We've got boxes. I can't even name all the different businesses around town where you can find the Toys for Tots boxes. But you almost can't trip in Hamilton, almost can't walk in Hamilton without tripping over a box, right? So if you want to contribute a toy, if you want to contribute monetarily, go to the website, email the sergeant, right? But there's plenty of opportunities to contribute towards a child's happiness, especially during the holiday season, or as you heard, even after the holiday season, as a child's going through a difficult time and just needs that little bit of pick-me-up. So, Sergeant, anything else for our audience before we close for the day?
No, just thank you for all the help and contribution that you guys are able to do. The community is phenomenal, and hoping to continue making these community relationships even stronger, and looking to have a better next year, build upon this.
Awesome.
Yes,
Well, again, thank you very much for your service. Thank you very much for what you're contributing to Toys for Tots and making kids here in Mercer County happy during the holiday season and even after, right, as they're going through difficult times. One of the best gifts in the world is just seeing a child smile.
Absolutely, sir.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Want to thank again WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us each and every month to bring you what's going on this month in Hamilton. We'll be back again in our normally scheduled time, the fourth Tuesday in January, where we'll have the superintendent of the Mercer County Vocational and Technical Schools as our guest. But want to wish each and every one of you a happy holidays, a happy new year. Hope it's safe, hope it's healthy, and we're looking forward to seeing you in 2023. So with that, again, thanking WBCB 1490 as well as our sponsors, Angelo Onifree and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Stahl Funeral Homes. And with that, we'll see you in 2023.